My name is Nia Scott and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I guess I would have to consider myself a geek because I was kind of born into it and surrounded by people in my family that are really into geek culture without knowing, but they just do it. Like my dad, well, my sister is an ultra geek, but my dad, he was into that stuff. Like he introduced us to video games and comics, I guess. And we're just surrounded by like classic game systems and whatnot. And I got to play that. Yeah. I think being a geek means being passionate about a subject, like not only comics, video games, manga, or anime, just anything. Even like just, you can be a geek about K-pop and J-pop, like I am. But just being really into it and then finding a community that you fit into and sharing your love for it. That's what a geek means. Like you're ready to learn more about a subject and like surround yourself with it. Yeah, I guess so, because you really don't see, well, being an African American woman or a black woman and also being like of a thicker figure, I guess, you don't really see many people like you. You see a lot of like thin white woman characters in most games, like, or most comics or manga, anime. You don't see anybody your color. And usually, like, because I used to read a lot of old manga because of my sister, most of the time when you saw someone black, it was just like a really dark character with big pink lips, and I'm like, okay, that's not accurate. I don't think that's how I look. But now it's better because there's a lot of independent artists and everyone making their own stuff. So you kind of like, if you use Tumblr, you see all these like color crossovers, skin color crossovers or gender or race crossovers, and it's like, it kind of inspires you. You can look at a fan art and be like, I want to do that cosplay. It's really cool. It's not as, it depends on how you want to look at it, because some people are discouraged by not seeing it. Me, I just look further into it. But it does suck when you don't see like anybody that looks like you and what you watch at all. And then sometimes when you go places, like as a black girl, I guess, people look at me weird and they're more accepting of someone else. Like I don't get offended. Well, I am offended, but I don't let it hurt me that much because I'm kind of used to it. I guess when I really started getting into like the culture and realizing that there's no one represented, like not really too many people representing me, but I was okay. Like I didn't look at it like that, but because I was young getting into it. But when people started saying stuff, it's just like, damn, like don't make me feel like an outsider. Like my own people are like, oh, you're weird, and then other people from different races are like, you're not supposed to be into that. So it's just like, what the hell? Like, what am I? Like, but then you find people that are like that, so it makes it okay, and you have like your little tight-knit community that makes you feel comfortable. But it depends on how you want to look at it, because a lot of people do get discouraged, and I see people, especially on Facebook, they complain about, well, not complain, but they voice their opinions and tell people how they feel about just being alone and being rejected by, like, I guess, cosplay groups and anime groups. But then you find like other groups like Black Girls of Kawaii and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, that's dope. There are other people like me, and then you start talking to them, so you don't feel as bad. But you gotta kind of search to be accepted. Like you gotta find the right people to align yourself with, so you don't feel as bad. And not everyone can do that, because I didn't know anything about. It was just like growing up, my sister would take me places, and we were like the only two black girls, and it would be black dudes there, and they're cool, but we're the only black girls in there. Like going to watch anime movies. Well, like recently I went to see Naruto, and I went with Jaleesa, well, the last Naruto movie, well, Boruto, there we go. And Jaleesa and I were like one of the like handful of 5 girls in the audience. It was like, damn. But it was dope because we ran into like some girl in the bathroom. We were just talking about Rock Lee, like, why wasn't Rock Lee's son or whatever he is in the movie enough? But it was great, and it was cool coming across that. So when you do come across it, it's like, it's great. But not everyone finds that, so it kind of pushes the people away from the community, and people become like closet nerds, and they don't want to like talk to other people and interact, I guess. I kind of went off the subject. No, okay. I think it's a representation of the media, because some white cosplayers, they'll see you in like a cosplay. Not all, because I get compliments doing cosplay sometimes, and they're like, why would you do that? You could just pick like Bumblebee, like the few black characters that we have, but you can't be like whoever else you want to be. It's because they're not used to seeing it. They only see people like white cosplayers around, I guess. So when they see you, they're like, why are you here? Because they're used to how we're portrayed in the media as like, we're just one type of people that like one type of thing. So when they see you there, it's just like, is it a fad? Like, you're not a real, they try to test you. And it's just like, how am I not valid? Because I'm just chocolate, like, come on. But yeah, it's just because they're not used to it. And some people are just like ignorant, like it's just, they were taught that way. But overall, when I do cosplay, like my last cosplay, I didn't even get like a regular like straight wig. I wore curly hair, and it's just like, I'm glad you did that cosplay. You didn't have to change anything. And again, it was fun, but they recognize who I am. You don't have to do anything extra. Like if you're wearing the outfit, I don't know. If you're wearing the outfit, you're clearly that character. It's like, I don't have to be white to be that character. You know that I'm doing it. I'm going all out for it. Come on, like, that's it. There are a couple of cosplayers that, one I found recently, her name is Peachy Bunny, and she did like a Kiki's delivery service thing. It was really cute. I like Geisha V, and I got to meet her at a Philly convention, and she was like, she recently had an interview like circling around Facebook, and it's really good. She was talking about being a plus size black cosplayer and how she's been doing it for years, but there are people that made it big and she started with them, and they're like, I don't understand how you're not even as big as we are, but it's because she's black and she's thick. So it's like, yeah. She was really nice when I met her. And she told me like, don't be afraid to cosplay and stuff. I was just like, you're awesome. It's Commander Holly. She's like a weird bird lady. If you look her up, yeah. She makes like crazy cosplays. Like she builds everything on her own, and I'm like, that's cosplaying God. And she doesn't focus on like the sexual part of woman. And I appreciate that, because like it depends on what you like. I like cosplayers that are kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to touch on that because that'll be too, people get mad. Never mind. In New York, it's really cool because you get to you can find like a hidden gem anywhere. I grew up next to a comic shop called Bulletproof. Like it was like right down the block, and I would go there after school in junior high. And that was like a very comforting place. It was really cool. Everyone's black in my neighborhood. Well, everyone's black in my neighborhood, so it's like, all right, I'm cool. And I go to Kinyakuya. My sister used to take me there when I was in elementary school, and we would just like sit there and pick up books and stuff. And we would go to Elizabeth Center, which was like an underground mall with like a bunch of anime memorabilia and stuff, a Gundam shop, and like really cool anime clothes. I got my first Naruto headband in junior high from that store, well, from one of the stores down there. Right now, I go to the Mott Street arcade to play Dance Dance Revolution and play whatever games, because it's a nice crowd. Everyone's friendly, except for when they hog the machine, but it's okay. There are a lot of places in different states. Like my best friend in Philly, he's like, it feels like we have nothing here. So when you're a nerd or whatever, you just like, you're with your friends, like a closeted nerd. You don't have anywhere to, like an outlet, like anywhere to, you just stay in your house. So it's cool. Like, I'm happy I live here so I can just do anything. I can find anything and come across any type of shop. Like Forbidden Planet, everyone knows that. Like all the comic shops, you can get all your stuff. It's really comfortable too. And Barnes and Nobles. I used to be that kid sitting in Barnes and Nobles. Yeah, I used to be that kid. But there are a lot of cool places that make me feel comfortable. And I'm not ashamed to be a nerd or a geek.